Hey guys, alrighty, marriage counseling 101. What makes you compatible in marriage? I would say, because you know how they say opposites attract, that tends to be more true than not. I'm not saying that you should just find somebody who's 100% different than you. Is that what work? They really have to be very similar to you for obvious reasons, but the differences really help because you don't want somebody who's weak in areas that you're weak, and you really don't need somebody who's strong in areas where you're strong, unless that's the direction you're going in, unless they really actually help you in your particular life journey. You know, if you're a strong Christian, you find another strong Christian that might help. But I will say those kind of connections don't always work out. That actually isn't why people tend to be together, just because they're a strong Christian. I will say, for example, the guys that I'm into usually are not Christians. I will say that. I'm not saying that I look for non-Christians. I'm just saying that I think due to my strong faith, it's actually more of a non-issue than you would think, because I already know that as a strong Christian, I just feel like I have the power to lead them in the right direction. And that's kind of the most important thing for a Christian to do in their Christian walk. So that's why it never really is an issue for me, because I feel like that's more the goal anyway, to lead this person and every other person. So it's not ever something that I'm like, I need to find a Christian. That's never been a thing for me. I'm just being honest. Of course, you like it when they're a Christian, but it's crazy because the Christians that I've been into don't tend to pan out. Like, they don't even like end up being what you want them to be, or being as strong as you want them to be, or as cool as you want. And that's a big one. That's a big. They gotta be cool. They gotta be able to talk. They gotta be able to communicate. When guys can do that, I don't care what you already know about God. You're gonna learn from me, because that's who I am. It's not even about, oh, I'm gonna change you. That's just who I am. So if we like each other, if we connect, if we want to be together, if we're attracted to each other, at that point, I'm definitely not worried about your religious status. Not even, because it's not even really a religion. I'm not worried about your faith status, because if it's almost just like, it's to just say it in layman's terms, it's almost like, if you're smart enough to be with me, then you're probably going to be fine, because what else are we going to do on this journey called life, except find God together. I find God every day. That's what the Bible means when it says to renew your mind daily. I find God every day. If you're hanging out with me, we're going to find God together, because that's what I do every day. So that's what I mean by it's a non-issue. There's no way that I'm over here like, I got to find a Christian. Not even close. It's actually more fun for me and more of a challenge for me if they're not Christians, because we got to stick together anyway. That's what marriage is about. We got to stick together anyway. So that's why finding somebody who's strong in areas that you're not strong is just more beneficial. It's just more beneficial. You need to know those things. Those are things that they could teach you. And then the areas where you're strong and they're weak, those are things that you could teach them. So that's more important, because the journey of life is long. And during that time, you have to be able to grow with each other, and learn from each other, and mold each other, and bounce things off of each other, bounce ideas off of each other. If you have all the same ideas as me, we don't really need each other. You want somebody who is kind of different from you, because they actually help a lot. So that's why I say that actually really helps. Off topic, but I tend to be into white guys. That matters a lot to me. That is a true thing about me. I tend to be more attracted to white guys. So that's a big difference. I am not white. I am a black person. So that's a big difference. So to me, that it's almost like, I feel like, that we complement each other, because they know things I don't know, and I know things they don't know. And so we can therefore help each other in that way, change each other, mold each other in that way, in a way that me and a black dude is just not. It's just not important that we be together, because it's like we're not doing as much good by being together. Whereas when I'm with a white guy, it's like there's a lot of good we could do together. That reminds me, this is getting way too long, but I was once into a black dude, and he was a Christian. Yeah, he was a Christian, and he sang in church and stuff like that. But do you know something? I think I'm just analyzing it real quick. I think that the reason I was attracted to him more than likely is because he probably did represent somebody who was very different than me. Because that's why I normally am not even into black dudes. But this one probably did represent somebody who was very different from me, but not in the way that the white guys tend to be. You see what I'm saying? A different way, because like I said, the white guys usually are not Christian. Usually. So he was more like, I think it was probably more of like an introvert versus extrovert. Like I'm an extrovert, he was an introvert, and he, liked to sing, and I hadn't really opened up that way. And it was so really, he actually could have molded me and changed me and taught me the things that he already knew, because he did actually already know a lot of stuff about that, like the singing and the, being more organized, because I'm not very organized, and just, he had a lot of class about him that he really could have shared with me. It didn't, happen or anything, but that's probably what I liked about him. That's just my analyzation of that. That's probably why I liked him. He actually could have helped me, because we were probably pretty different. That's what I thought. And I would definitely say that any day of the week. I think we're very different, or else I don't think I would have liked him anyway. So yeah, we're definitely very different. When I like a black guy, he's very different. For example, that guy he seemed very white. Fact, he seemed very white. I'm not saying he talked white, like his voice sounded like a white guy. That's not true at all. But he did seem very white, like even like nerdy, which was why I was so annoyed that he wasn't even smart enough to like go out with me. It was just like, are you really this stupid? Like, you're nerdy as crap, and I'm cool. So it was that, at least that dynamic, Whereas just like with a white guy, I like the opposite dynamic. We actually had that, so it really could have worked. But he just wasn't smart enough or cool enough, I guess. Because I told you he was nerdy, so he just stuck with that. Stayed being like a mama's boy, sister's boy, just weird stuff that I'm not used to. I have brothers, and I would have never wanted them to treat a girl the way that his sister seemed to want him to treat me. It was very annoying. I'm definitely not used to that. I don't mean to put him down, but yeah, he just proved to be too nerdy, proved to be too much of a not man. He wasn't like, oh, she's so beautiful, we should probably talk. That's what a normal man would do. He didn't even do that. So that was just way too annoying. So that's why that didn't work. He still has to be a man. He still has to want to talk and want to be with you, want to have sex with you. Just why would I want a guy who doesn't want to have sex with me? That doesn't even make sense. So he didn't have any motivation the way that a man is supposed to have for a woman, wanting to chase a woman, for example. Because then we would have been together, because I was feeling it. We actually had a lot of different. I don't think I explained it well, but the best way to put it is the nerd versus cool thing. He was not cool. I would have made him cool.